Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome viewers once again to my channel. For those of you that are new to the channel, you are most welcome. For those of you that are existing subscribers, you are also most welcome. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notification of all new videos that I produce. So as you can see from the title, we are doing another presentation, and this one is on time series graphs. So these areas are still in the statistics slash graphs and charts section of 11 plus and SATs. So less and less you are going to be asked to draw these things, but what you are going to be asked to do is interpret. So before we start, I always make the plea, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. So we are making good progress. I think it's just not far off 400, but please, I need your help to increase the numbers, and so let's try and get it to that 1,000 as quickly as possible. Okay, by way of starter then, I have this diagram. So the question is, what is this time series graph showing you? So just looking at it visually, what is it showing you? I'll give you 5 seconds to freeze and write some things down, because this could be a typical 11 plus question. Okay, so clearly a nice easy question. So the sorts of things you would say is that we have a map on the left hand side which is color coded with the populations of the world from 1750 to 2000. Okay, so presumably before 1750 records didn't exist, and therefore we have made estimates. So the population was less than 1 billion to a maximum of at least 6.5 in Asia. You'd have to add all those up to get the total population. So it clearly is shown that Asia is the most populated continent, followed by Africa, and then Europe. And you would need to read those numbers off, or you would need to total those numbers depending on the marks that are given. Okay, so let's make a start. Okay, so what is a time series? A time series graph shows us the changes in data over a certain period of time. So it's used by lots and lots of people, and the example here to start off with is businesses. So they need to check if they are improving or not. So one way to do it is to show information or data on a time series. So they could look at sales figures, and then they've got other examples here of temperature. So the temperature, can be analyzed over a short period or a very long period, just like previously could be looked at over the hundreds years or however long the records are. And we could look at the number of tourists coming to the UK, which given the current circumstances has sort of changed over a number of years, and we need to look into the reasons for that perhaps. Okay, more detail. So with the time series graph, time always goes on the bottom, which is called the x-axis. And of course the information on the x-axis you've got to look at not as a scale, but what we call passing by. Okay, rather than going up and down. So here's an illustration. So this graph shows the sale of iPods. So the highest I've written there is 400,000, and as you can see from the scale, we started in 2002, and in 2007 it went past the 400,000 that I have written. But the other thing you can say is that there is a steady increase over this time period. Okay, so we're going to look at a set of data and then plot that information. So the data that we have here is electricity bills from January through to next December, and we're going to plot this information. So there's the information again. So as I say, you write the months on the x-axis, and you need to choose a scale on the left hand side, or the y-axis as we call it, and make that as wide as you can, so that when you draw the lines, they are nice and big. So you'll know what I mean once I've plotted them. So 45 I haven't written on, but I've left enough space, so it goes here. 35 is the next one for February. So you'll notice we put the crosses on the actual line of the month. So I think you get the idea. The third one down, March, is 30, and so on. So we carry on plotting the numbers. Okay, so that's all the numbers plotted, and once we've done that, we just merely join all of the crosses. Okay, we get this shape. So that would be one task, but the main task would be to interpret. So as you can see, there's a very high figure for January. Then the next highest figure is December. November is quite high. February is quite high. And you would expect September perhaps, but March and April in this graph are quite high as well. So that would be a typical question. What does this graph indicate about electricity bills over the course of the year? So I think I've sort of said some of the reasons so far. So the months that I said were the autumn and winter months. So starting in November, the bills increase steadily. But as I say, March was unusually high as well, because you'd expect them to be less than that in springtime. Okay, so basically it's showing how the consumption of electricity changes with the seasons. And then next question is, what reasons could be behind this pattern? So it could be that it's a particularly severe winter, therefore the December and the January figures are higher than normal. And we do need more information to make these assumptions. So particularly in this case, as March is quite high. Or it could be the opposite way around. As I say, it's a mild winter, and your bills aren't that high. Okay, so here's another one that I want you to consider. So what we have is the number of tourists coming to the UK. Okay, so there is the scale with the years at the on the x-axis, and the passengers on the y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to put in the years for you as well. So I'm going to pause 5 seconds there so that you get a chance to freeze the screen and plot the information. Okay, so I hope you spent some time doing that. So I don't know whether I've mentioned before, these sessions should take you 40 minutes to an hour if you are doing it properly. In other words, freezing the screen at the appropriate time. Okay, so I'll plot this data. So as you can see, it starts off on 6, 12, okay, so it's joining the crosses. Okay, so as you can see, we've got all sorts of numbers there, and we've actually declined from 1999. So in the third quarter it was very low, and then it improved in 2000. Okay, so I do hope that you are able to do that. And here is an 11 plus question for you to have a look at. So the information on the left hand side is what's known as a price index, and we always need a base year, which is 1995. So we start from 1995, and that is 100%, and then prices have increased gradually over the period. So I'll let you have a go at that question, and then I'll go through the answer. So 5 seconds to freeze the screen. So the question is, in which year was the price of the license 20% more than the price in 1995? So 20% more would be 120, of course. So we look at 120 and go across, and the answer is 2000. Okay, what was the percentage increase in price license from 95 to 2006? So there is 2006, we go up. It's just above 150, so is that 52% then? Yeah, so each of those is 2, so that is how you would read, and this was a typical 11 plus /SATS question. Okay, so I do hope you have understood the concept. I don't think it's that difficult. Just by way of summary then, so we've learned what a time series graph is, we've learned how to plot the information, and we've looked at interpreting that data, and that of course is very, very important. Okay, so I do hope you've enjoyed today's session. I am feeling a bit groggy, so I hope that hasn't come across too much. I guess it just remains for me to say thank you very much for watching, and once again I make the plea, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Without your help I cannot succeed. Please help in whatever way you can. Tell your friends, family, colleagues, anybody that you know about the channel. So I am going to endeavour to put as many things as I can. I have so many requests for things to put on, and they range from the very young ones up to 16. I mean, I don't have experience of all of the age groups, but as a supply teacher I did collect a lot of the information, so I'm going to persevere and put on the information. So until the next time, I say thank you for watching once more. Look after yourselves, look after others. Until the next time, I bid you farewell, goodbye. अपना ख्याल रखना, दूसरों का ख्याल रखना, मुझे दुआओं में याद रखना. अल्लाह हाफिज, खुदा हाफिज.